Cowabunga! Finally! Sometimes it takes a little while for a great movie like The Turtles to come to Little Austria. I'm one of the few people who had a really good time with the 2014 reboot of the Ninja Turtles. Alright, maybe not a really good time, that's a little bit much, but I enjoyed it, and I think a good mindset going into these movies is to keep in mind that the old movies were kind of bad too. Okay, maybe not the first one, because I honestly think that's a way underrated early superhero movie, but Turtles 2 and 3 are not good, and I even think the second one is the worst. And that's coming from a guy who loved it the most as a child. So yeah, I enjoyed the latest one, and I think Out of the Shadows is even a little bit better. But to make one thing clear, I don't like going into a movie thinking it will be bad and then enjoying it for what it is. It's not that I thought Turtles would be bad, but I thought it would be super silly and ridiculous and goofy and over the top, and that's exactly what I got. But that's not the same like going into a Transformers movie. This may sound strange, but in my opinion there are worlds between those two franchises. The story in this one is super simple, but at least you know what's going on. Also, you understand where all the characters are and how the action takes place. And most of all, you understand the characters themselves, because even if they have only their 1 or 2 character traits, they have character traits and are distinguishable from one another. And that's actually something I really like about these two new ones. They build on their differences, especially visually. Yeah, it's so extreme, it's ridiculous, but when you are even remotely into the Turtles, it's also a lot of fun. I really like all the details they put into their outfits. Mikey has his skateboard on his shell, Leonardo has that extra layer of armor on his chest, Donatello has an old Super Nintendo controller attached to his wrist, and Raphael, well, he's a giant roid monster. He's the muscle, the loner, the ticking time bomb, and while he almost starts out as a douchebag in this one, after a while he was back as being my favorite turtle of them all. Especially because of one super big laugh that goes on his costs later on. A little hint, it involves a turtle. Yeah, I know, but you will see. The first half hour of the movie is so fast and silly that you can either shake your head and feel dizzy, or you could just embrace the party. It's like the filmmakers had a list with the most iconic turtle stuff and they wanted to get everything in. Shredder is back? Check. Let's introduce the crazy scientist Baxter Stockman, played by Tyler Perry? Check. Bebop and Rocksteady? Sure, why not? Check. Casey Jones? Also check. And how about Krang too? Check. And don't forget about April and Vernon, played again by Megan Fox and Will Arnett. There are so many characters, but it's fun because Out of the Shadows is a total cartoon. The movie doesn't try to be as gritty as the first one, instead it goes full cartoon, pictures everything with giant glowing colors, and the cinematography can only be described as unleashed. It's a wild ride and never for a second stale. The 3D is actually one of the best I've seen. Yeah, it's totally on your face and gimmicky, but that fits the movie perfectly. A big flaw of the first one was the lack of actual turtle time. April and Vern were too much in the center of everything, and fortunately they changed that. I still think April isn't that likable, but at least she's not front and center this time. The addition of Casey Jones, played by Arrow protagonist Stephen Amell, works just fine, but I totally miss that famous mullet. The comedy sometimes goes very deep into far territory, but the action was a lot of fun. Could the movie been better? Yeah, of course. You've seen the finale like 100 times by now.
I've never seen anything like this before.
And Krang is really only there for a few seconds at the beginning and then in the end. Shredder gets tossed aside even more than in the first film, and also important to notice, if you don't know the characters already or have some kind of connection to them, the movie itself fails to really establish Krang and Baxter. Also, the Turtles could have had more character moments. It's a fun experience and I think it's definitely better than the original Turtles 2 and 3, and it's slightly better than the one from 2014, but that goes only for people who like the Turtles and want to see some crazy cartoon-like action with some laughs and a wild, unleashed cinematography.
I don't know if this is such a good plan!
Don't go getting soft on me now!
Oh, this is awesome! yes, 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 yes!
So in the end I give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows 6 out of 10. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Maybe you're asking yourself why a review of Turtles 2, a movie that's almost half a year old by now. Well, two reasons. One, the movie was only now released in Austria, and two, my PC went down, it was broken and I had to buy new components. But I've seen a lot of movies and I want to talk about them nevertheless, so be prepared for some reviews of older titles. But also there will be a new movie review next Thursday of The Magnificent 7, so you can look forward to that. As always, thank you. If you like this video, please comment, subscribe, whatever you like. That wasn't right. Share, subscribe, whatever you like.